gas, hit the gas, hit the gas. Until it's 17, pass it till it's 17, pass it, hit the gas, hit the gas, hit the gas. Until it big man, pass it till it big man, pass it, hit the gas, hit the gas, hit the gas, hit the gas. Until it go time.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to Off Limits Podcast. It's been in the works for a while. I know we posted something teasing that we're going to be starting soon. I hope you guys understand that it's pretty challenging working out a schedule for me and my brother right here to record. But thank you for being patient. It's here, and we're glad to get it started.
Like, full transparency, we recorded an episode, turned out the camera turned off as we were filming the episode, so we had to scrap it, do it together again. As he said, there's logistical issues. Very active currently. He's active in his church. I'm active in my church. We have a little baby daughter.
Yeah,
takes up my time. So we're trying to figure out the logistics, but we hope you all stay tuned, stay with us as we get better at it.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll start off. You want to explain a little about the podcast?
Yeah, so everyone always asks when I was telling my friends about it, why off limits? And I think one of the biggest things about me and my brother and how we are now, we're very transparent about how we feel and our opinions. And I guess that's what this podcast is going to be. We're going to be very transparent about how we feel about certain topics, certain things. Off limits is, I guess, I found it funny because it's very ironic. Because I'm pretty sure everything we're going to be talking about, we're not going to have problems talking about it. Nothing's going to be off limits. Everything's on the table. Maybe some things will be off limits, and that's where you'll see us maybe pull back. But you'll never know. Pretty sure we're pretty open.
Yeah, I think it's kind of off limits to an extent. It's more like we're off limits because of the topics that we're going to talk about would be my mom still alive. May the Lord tarry for her. So she set certain limitations on us, and as the obedient children that we are, we're still going to honor and respect her wishes and her guidance, and also practice restraint with our opinions to never make sure we hurt anyone unnecessarily. But it's just a podcast for us to get together, talk, share with people, and just have fun together. A little outlet for the two of us.
Yeah.
So background, my name is Isaiah. I'm 29, married. I have one baby girl. It was a year and 3 months. Another baby girl on the way in May. Unknown name. Y'all welcome to send suggestions for names. We'll see what the baby. It'll be a baby girl. I got to name her this time. My wife named the last baby, so I get to name this one. That was our deal. So open to suggestions, preferably. Starts with an A. Keep a running theme going with the A's. I work at UCLA. I work in mental health. I have been in mental health now going on 8 years. I graduated from Azusa Pacific University, which is a Christian college, with my BA in psychology. I started working at a inpatient psych facility in Alhambra. Has many stories I can share. I was there for about 4 years. Then I went to an outpatient field-based program where I worked with adults and older adults in psych. And now I currently work at UCLA, partial program for kids between the ages of 6 and 12 who have a variety of different diagnoses and issues that they're working through and working with. And I help to provide services for them there. I currently attend a Linwood Church. It's where I met my wife. Growing up, I said I would never date a pastor's daughter. I never wanted to marry a pastor's daughter because my mom was a pastor's daughter, and that had a lot of impact on our upbringing because my dad was in ministry, is in ministry. So that had a big impact on my view on who I wanted to date in church and why I wanted to date people maybe not so closely related to church, but I go to Linwood Church, Mount Moriah, so that's where I met my wife. And I think that's a good intro to who I am for a little bit, and we'll share stories along the way.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Esau. I am 26 years old. Just turned 26 in January. Like my brother, we grew up in church. Right now, I currently attend Rock Church LA. Shout out to my Rock Church fam, Pastor Alex. They're the best. I work at a middle school. I got into education. I always knew I wanted to help kids. That was always a big passion of mine growing up. I got a job through my brother's mother-in-law at a school district in Rosemead.
Shout out Mama Ruth.
Shout out to her. But I found out I did not want to be a teacher. Working with those kids, I just didn't have the patience for it, and the amount of time that goes into making a lesson plan and all that actual paperwork stuff. So then that's when I became a substitute in a computer lab, and I fell in love with technology. And so now I'm looking to get into the IT field, and that's where I'm at work. I love my coworkers. Shout out to the Muscatel family. The office staff is the best. Yeah, so that's where I'm at in life. Currently single. No relationships in the works, but I guess I'm looking. Got my eyes open, hoping this is my last Valentine's alone for a long time, or forever, hopefully. But God's plan is what I believe in. God's timing. So that's where we're at. Have two beautiful nieces, one on the way. Yeah, so that's where we are.
So set up. Sorry for. We're brothers. I think we said that already. But there's another one of us. Isaac is our older brother.
He's like the fourth Jonas brother nobody knows about.
Yeah. Growing up, people didn't really know he was like, oh, that's your brother. Yeah, that's my brother. He was a little older, so he hung around with an older crowd in church. So his name is Isaac. He'll come on probably one of these times.
You guys may know him as Chucky.
Also known as Chucky. But he's our older other brother. But he'll come on every now and then. And then the relationship dynamic between us, the reason we want to do this podcast is because growing up, it was an interesting dynamic. We had a lot of sibling rivalries, you would say. My older brother, he wasn't really part of it. He was just kind of there.
Supervising, make sure it didn't get out of hand.
But we would play games together. We get a little too personal, get angry, end up in fighting, pushing. I pushed him to be aggressive, be better, in my mind, to be a stronger individual, maybe too extreme in some instances. But we definitely grew closer, I think, the older that we got. Mainly in college, when I went to college, I dormed in the university.
Yeah.
And I think he and I formed a special bond relationship that happened then and there. And since then, we've kind of been like two peas in a pod, as they say. I introduced him to people. I'm like, he's my brother. He's like me, but a little funnier, a little cooler, a little more lax than I am in my approach. Generally, my disposition, people would say I'm quiet, I'm shy, reserved. I think that's how I would categorize myself, being quiet.
Yeah.
Borderline, shy, uncomfortable. I prefer operating with people who I already know. I don't have to expend energy to get to know other people. That's kind of changing with positions in church and just being more comfortable in my skin. Quote I heard from someone that I follow working out was, you'll never be comfortable with your presence, right? Yeah. Until you're comfortable
with your presence.
Something like that, right?
Yeah, it was like you're not gonna be in the present until you're comfortable with your presence. Which, we follow the same guy, and I saw it, and I was like, man, that's deep and it's dope. And I felt like it's a good understanding of, I think, the journey. We had different journeys, but of understanding that's exactly what it took for us to be okay with who we are, how we are, and not really giving 2 cents about what other people think of what we say or what we do, how we act.
Yeah. So I think a lot of upbringing in church will come through our podcast. Those of you who are interested in church upbringing, being the sons of a minister, assistant pastor, grandchildren of a pastor, nephews of a former bishop, Bishop Velasco. Who else? What other position titles we have? My mom was a district ladies president. So there's a lot of church.
The dad at Thanksgiving for 17 years.
Yeah, we're very busy at church for conventions. So there's a lot of different church topics that will come up. And if you're interested in talking about church upbringing and topics and experiences and ideas, definitely something we're open to talk about. But we'll get into also, we're going to talk about sports, which we'll move on to our next topic, will be the NBA trades that happened. Recapping the big ones is Kevin Durant going to the Suns. Obviously, it was a big shocker to.
I know.
I mean, wasn't that big shocker? It had been rumored in the off season before.
I didn't think they would pull the trigger. I just didn't think on both sides. I didn't think Phoenix was gonna pull the trigger to give up Mikal Bridges, and I didn't think the Nets were gonna just give KD what he wanted because they had him under contract for like a few more
Yeah,
years.
I think the Nets were dumb. They didn't give the Lakers Kyrie Irving because their owner hated the Lakers, hated Kyrie.
Yeah.
So they took a win now move, and then they ended up trading Kevin Durant.
Anyway.
I think they could have got more for Kevin Durant, but I like Mikal Bridges. I think that's a really good get
He's gonna
for
be
them.
stud.
And then Phoenix, I like the fit, but I don't love the fit with just because Chris Paul's old. I never trust old, unathletic point guards that they can't get their own shot when they need to. It matters most. He's not very clutch. Been proven that he falls apart or crumbles for whatever reason. Body falls apart when it matters.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna be good. Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, pure hoopers. I mean, I like both of them. So the Lakers got who did they get? Jared Vanderbilt, Mo Bamba, D'Lo, welcome back.
Yeah.
Who else they get? Malik Beasley.
Yeah.
Lakers got an assortment of pieces. Finally getting rid of Russell Westbrook. I think it was a good move. Rob Pelinka moving in the shadows, vindicated himself somewhat.
I know. Everyone was talking smack early on, and then now they're like, oh, great moves, great moves. Way to get rid of the money. Bring in pieces that help now, that are athletic, that can play both ways. And everyone's like, yeah, maybe you shouldn't talk. Always let Pelinka do his magic before.
I like the moves. I think it's too late to make the moves in season. There's 23 games left. They're I think 4 games back of the 60. They won today. Based off today's game, you'd think they should have no problem making the playoffs, making the play-in at bare minimum. But 2 days ago, they got blown out by Portland. LeBron's taking every 3 games off.
Dame time is different right now. Dame time is another level.
So we'll see what happens to the Lakers. Interesting moves for them.
Yeah.
What other trades happen in the NBA? Kyrie and Luka. I still like Kyrie and Luka.
I know. I don't hit the panic button yet, just because, I mean, like anything, it's going to take a while for them to find that transition and groove of knowing, like, who's going to eat and when to eat. And I feel like they're getting their shots, they're getting their buckets. Now it's just a matter of knowing to pick their moments at the right time to close out the game. Because they're always right there. They've lost by like single-digit points every time.
And the game's different, regular season and playoffs. That's why I'm like, if the Lakers make the playoffs, I think they'll be
better.
A hard out. Regular season, anybody could be anybody anytime of the game. But in the playoffs, to beat Kyrie and Luka 4 out of 7 times, I like those chances for the Mavs. I think they'll be definitely a scary team to want to take out because you have to hit tough shots in the playoffs, and those are 2 of the best bad shot makers in the NBA.
Players too. Those guys and don't have no fear.
So I think they're going to be a hard out. I like them to fully go against Phoenix. That's going to be a great.
That'll be a 6 series.
Great matchup. And the other big moves happen in the NBA.
I can't think of any. I feel like the KD one just overshadows everything.
Yeah, there's a lot of minor moves.
KD and Kyrie.
Pelicans got Richardson. People getting waived here and there, but.
Oh, the Clippers getting rid of
Reggie Jackson. They got Highland or something. Highland. Taking shots at Jamal Murray.
Yeah.
But I think that was the 2 main moves. I think the NBA is kind of the fiasco in the Warriors. Everyone wants to talk bad about the Lakers. They don't know how to draft and develop their players, but man, they blew it with Wiseman.
I know.
That's wild.
Especially when you see what came after him, like Anthony Edwards and LaMelo Ball.
I forget about Anthony Edwards.
That guy's a stud.
We're talking about LaMelo Ball that they should have taken him, but they could have taken Edwards, huh?
Anthony Edwards.
Who won 1 that year?
James Wiseman.
He went number 1.
He went number 1. They took James Wiseman.
That was number 2. It's even worse.
They went Wiseman, Anthony Edwards, then LaMelo Ball.
Man.
The rumor was they were going to take LaMelo first, but then I think it was a smoke screen. I don't know why, but because.
Oh man, they're doing awful. Got rid of Wiseman for not very Payton essentially.
Yeah.
Awful for the Warriors franchise. At least the Lakers, they got rid of their players but got Anthony Davis.
Yeah.
And they never had the number 1 pick, right? They never had the number 1 pick.
I know, and I think we said this about the trade deadline this year was, it felt like it was GMs correcting their mistakes that they made either within the past 2 off seasons or the deadlines, because it's like Golden State got their key players back. The Lakers got rid of the players that they thought were going to make them better, but they didn't. Portland got back a big, and it's just like...
Who's Portland? Oh, they got Cam Reddish, and they got...
they got rid of Josh Hart.
Thibault. They got good little moves. Those like side pieces moves.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, It's just crazy. You just see all these GMs trading for second rounders to flip them for other
Yeah,
pieces.
5 second round picks. What do you got? That's a new trading call. 5 second round picks. What do you got?
Yeah.
All-Star Weekend's coming up this week.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even care about the All-Star Weekend anymore.
I know, it's kind of. I don't know how they thought the rules that they added about like each quarter is
Resetting
different.
or something. I don't even know the new rules.
Yeah.
I stopped watching it
It's so
after Kobe
complicated now.
retired.
So
I haven't seen
complicated.
an All-Star game since Kobe retired.
Yeah.
And then
Dunk contest
I
sucks
haven't
now.
seen since
It's sad
2016.
when the 3-point shooting contest is the best thing of the weekend. It's pretty sad.
And I never used to watch 3-point shooting
Like,
contest
that's why
because
it's
Lakers
sad.
never had nobody in the 3-point shooting
Like,
contest.
it's sad.
But yeah, I think NBA's got to revamp their All-Star Weekend. It's
Figure something out.
I
I
think
like
it's
the idea
hitting.
I saw of letting star players go have a one-on-one tournament for a cash prize.
That'd be good.
So then you have like Devin Book, like the little bracket where you have like, say you have the best scores that like an ISO.
Do you think people will be afraid the same way they're afraid of the dunk contest to be like not good, to look bad on the dunk contest?
Well, I don't know, because you see these players like these highlight reels in USA Olympics where they have that's like a drill they do. They
go one-on-one.
One-on-one.
It's like one dribble pull up.
Yeah,
one
you
dribble.
only get like 3 dribbles. You can't do like a bunch of stuff, and you catch it on the block at one spot. It's not like at the top of the key.
That'd be fun to watch for sure, but I don't know if the players would be wanting to do that. I think they might be wanting competitive spirit, hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah, All-Star Weekend.
Shout out Mac McClung. He probably go win the
Philly.
slam dunk contest.
Going to Philly.
Oh yeah, he signed with the Sixers. I've been wanting that white boy to be a Laker. Oh, he was a Laker, but to finally be on the squad long term.
He's bouncy, so hopefully Mac McClung makes your debut.
Yeah.
See what else we got the All-Star with anything this week. Then they have like a horse. Not a horse anymore.
They did horse 1 year, and it wasn't. Granted, I didn't think they got like the best players for it. It was like Kevin Durant, Caspi, Rondo. How the hell are you gonna have Rondo on that thing? He can't even shoot.
Yeah, NBA got to figure out.
And then people just started dunking, so then it's like
dunk contest
for the people that can't dunk dope.
Yeah, they got to figure out what to do with that. But All-Star Weekend happening. 23-ish games for everybody in the NBA.
Yeah.
Prediction: the Lakers make the play-in or miss the playoffs?
I think they do now.
Make play-in?
Yeah, they make it. I honestly want to say they can make it to the 8 seed, especially because, like you said, their schedule.
Well, it don't matter. That's still playing. They gotta make it all the way to the 6 seed.
The 7th seed even playing?
Yeah, 7th.
Dang.
7th seed's playing. The 6 seed has to get to the 6 seed, which I think they're 4 games back with 23 games to go. Zion's out for the Pelicans. Steph is back already?
No, he's out till at least, I think, 2 more weeks after the All-Star break. So
he tore something, so Steph is out.
Yeah. And then he's still got to get back.
Pelicans, they losing Zion. Oklahoma's staying in there. Hopefully they hit the tank button. Try to get Wamba, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the Lakers can make it. I think they're meshing pretty well from
what I've seen these last. Well, not the Portland game, but the 2 games I did watch. They look like they're
much better flow, spacing for sure.
Vanderbilt
running plays. Nice. We have never been able to run in the last 2 years since we got rid of KCP. Shout out KCP and Caruso in the squad. Yeah. Pin downs, flare screens.
The epitome of you never know what you got till it's gone.
Pulling in transition. Like D'Lo today pulled in transition and I didn't freak out. Yeah. It wasn't like Russell Westbrook. You had to yell at the TV like, why would you shoot it?
Shout out to Toretto over
there. Toretto.
Got our own Toretto over there. Yeah. Time to transition into the biggest sporting event, one of the biggest sporting events of the year. But for sure, we'll go ahead and go to a commercial break. But yeah, talking about the Super Bowl. I was happy. I was trying to play it cool. Like if I was playing both sides about the Kelsey brothers. It was called the Kelsey Bowl this year because it was the first time ever in history that you had 2 brothers in the Super Bowl, and I always thought that was dope. And I got to be big fans of the Kelsey brothers because of their podcast, the New Heights podcast. Shout out to them and launching that. It gave us the idea and the inspiration of doing something similar. They were talking about how they got closer because of it and how it was something, that they did that they didn't regret, and so I thought that would be something that was dope for us. So shout out to them for helping out with that inspiration. But yeah, what do you think of the Super Bowl?
I didn't even care about Super Bowl. I was more happy about a new air fryer. I made hella wings at the house.
Yeah,
That was more.
came out good too. Honestly, if we had a little bit better sauces or variety than just seasonings, it would have smacked.
I mean, I was happy. I like Travis Kelce. I only discovered Jason Kelce, right, Jason?
Yeah, Jason.
He started singing the podcast. I heard of him from the
Shout out to
podcast.
his Philly Christmas special album. If you want it, it's on anywhere streaming, Spotify, Apple Music.
So I think it was cool, the dynamic that the brothers have. You could tell they're both passionate. The mom was there. Shout out the mom.
Oh, yeah,
That must
shout
have
out
been
to
tough.
Mama Kelsey.
But it was cool. I mean, same thing. Another NFL ref game decided by a ref. The guy admitted he held the guy.
Well, there's another clip that came on, and it's like you clearly see it. The main thing, I think it's not the problem of the call. It's like the problem of when the call happened.
Yeah, they always hold. It's like the
Yeah.
NBA. They always travel. They always foul you. But they don't even call it to end
But
the
then
game.
it's, I think if you're a ref in that situation, would you rather get called out for not making the call and the Chiefs lose because of it, or you do your job and call it, and then the Eagles are mad because they did it? Like,
Nah, I don't even think he catches the ball. He's not held. Wasn't the ball super bad? I mean, I wouldn't
Juju
have
got them wheels, baby.
Like, I would have waited to
Nah,
how close he was. If they were, like, within a hand grab, all right, I call it. But if it's, like, I think the pass was way off.
Yeah, nah, he overthrew him. But again, we see that oftentimes, like with pass interference, they throw it when they see the fouls happening because you want that call. It's not so much because you're throwing it all the time because they're gonna get there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's like
It's
the
like
middle of the field.
when
It's not like touchdown with one.
Well, it wasn't for the touchdown again. It's
Well,
not
like 1 minute
but
left.
it's for the
That was a
it's for
touchdown.
the flag. No, but you're saying he wouldn't have caught it.
No, he wouldn't.
So when he threw it,
yeah,
he
but
threw it
that
with the intention to make the ref make the call.
that
put him in
penalty
position.
was in touchdown red zone. Was he in the red zone?
It was gonna be in the red zone, yeah.
He was already in the red zone.
Yeah.
They
Just
were like a
outside.
10-yard line.
25-yard line. Red zone, 20-yard line.
Nah, they were not right there. They were closer, I think. Well, no, I think that was bad. I wouldn't have done it. And then the Chiefs ran out the clock. I'm like, whatever, that's boring. The guy diving, just scored a touchdown. Be a man.
Not even, baby. Sacrifice for the team. That's
Nah.
ultimate team player.
If I'm not running back, I don't know who the running back was. That was me.
McKinnon.
I'm scoring that touchdown. Best believe. I don't know when I'm gonna be back in the Super Bowl. I'm scoring that touchdown. I'm gonna tell my whole family I scored a touchdown in the Super Bowl.
Well, now you can say, you know what? I did the unselfish thing and stop myself from scoring so that we can for sure win that Super Bowl.
I'm scoring that touchdown. I'm keeping that ball.
He's like the deciding factor in securing the Chiefs Super Bowl win because if he scores, the Eagles have a minute 45.
I got a touchdown. At least I know
we
didn't lose because of me. They could have still missed the kick.
They would have blamed it on him. They could have pointed out that if he would have just scored,
they would have to have gone for 2, right?
Have you seen what did you see the Eagles?
They would have to score and then go for 2.
They were gonna be unstoppable. They did it the drive before.
No, they got stopped a bunch of times.
But they
They kicked it.
You know how many times Jalen Hurts scored?
I'm scoring. If I'm not kidding, that's a week. I'm scoring, getting my points, getting my Super Bowl ball, keeping it for the rest of my life. Have that memory with my kids. Dad, you didn't even score in Super Bowl. We're gonna tell your son. Nah, I didn't. I was scared. Nah, not me. I'm scoring that touchdown, baby.
Selfish.
Come on TV.
That touchdown don't mean nothing if you lose.
Nah, yeah, I still do. No, I scored. Best believe. I scored in Super Bowl.
It's just like I scored in the Super Bowl. Did you win, Daddy? No,
I
lost.
scored, not because of me, though.
Because I scored. I did the selfish thing. Scored, still letting the team win.
Defense was useless. That's all I would say.
Well, I was honestly surprised how high scoring it was because Chiefs defense was always here and there, but the Eagles defense dominated a lot this season.
Yeah.
Can't stop Patty Mahomes.
That's boring. The last like 2 minutes and 20 seconds was useless. And then the penalty, they just ran the ball, kneeled it, kicked it.
One of the best Super Bowls in the last 6 years, and you're like, nah, it sucked. It was whack.
People say it was good. I don't even think it was that good.
It was super good.
Nah.
Super good.
There was no big...
Scripted to perfection.
There was no tension in the game.
What? What you mean?
It was score. But it was like... Nah.
That's right. Score.
Scripted. The guy knew how to know the fall. Scripted. They told him to fall.
Oh, great awareness of the clock in the game situation.
Scripted. Nah, I don't believe.
He obviously paid attention to it.
They went to Disneyland the day before I went. I was so sad. I didn't even know.
I know Patty Mahomes. Only Patty Mahomes went, not the whole squad.
Well, even better.
Only Patty Mahomes. Only Patty Mahomes with his wife and daughter.
Yeah, I went to Sweethearts Night. I was hoping to see
Yeah.
Chiefs. Didn't see them. But yeah, NFL was fun. It's over. I mean, I don't really have a team, so it's like the NFL is always whatever to me. Till we get to playoffs, then I pick a team that I like.
I was hyped because I'm a big fan of the Kelsey brothers. Travis Kelsey is my favorite player, so I was happy he won. But yeah, it was dope. They came out on top. I thought it was a good game. Thought he made the right decision to kneel instead of scoring. But
Kobe don't kneel that. Kobe scores. Best believe.
I don't know. Kobe passed out of the shot.
Nah, Kobe don't even do nothing. He'll just quit. Game 6.
Yeah, but super dope game. Good week.
Halftime performance was whatever.
Yeah, no, that was mid. I mean, people were like, "Oh, she sang her guest songs and it was good." I'm like, when I see halftime performance, I need a performance, not just a vocal.
And they over zoomed in on her face. Camera guy, bad job. Messed up the whole reveal. Everybody like, is she pregnant? She's not pregnant.
After that, I'm like, I don't want to be mean, but like, she's still a little chunky after being pregnant. It's been a little while.
Literally, like, she got pregnant last May. I'm like, there's no way she had a baby in May.
I know.
That's almost
and honestly, months. I don't remember her touching her belly. Do you remember?
No, that's why the camera guy zoomed in too much. If you look, there's another clip.
But supposedly they said that she took a moment and she went to bed. I don't remember.
Me either. I didn't pay attention to that much. I had my baby. But apparently it starts with her zipped up, and then she unzips it and shows her belly. The camera guy was on her face, and her face that she made her like a little,
her little I'm in the zone face, whatever.
Run this town face.
That'd be
so they zoomed in too much. Oh, they did.
Yeah.
Zoomed in too much. Couldn't see her reveal her belly. Almost whatever. Not really a fan of concert vibes.
Yeah, no.
Let's see what else we got. Anything else in Super Bowl happened?
Derek Carr got released from football, so he's a free agent now.
He sucks anyway.
I don't know where. Yeah, that guy was trash. Dak Prescott needs to get out of Dallas too. Getting tired of him.
That's all for football.
Pitchers and catchers reporter for baseball. Spring training's coming. I didn't know baseball was right around the corner. I was like, what the heck? They're like, it's only like 50 days away. I was like, bro, season just ended.
Love Frank on. Frank's one of our good friends. He loves baseball. Loves Clayton Kershaw. Loves the Dodgers. So we'll have him on. Baseball also is whatever. Dodgers suck every year. Oh, no, they don't suck. They don't suck. They win the most games. Yeah, but then they lose in the playoffs, so they suck. I don't care what they do in the regular season.
Yeah, I'm not a Dodgers fan, as you can see. Support winning teams only over here.
Yeah, my Dodgers win 100 and how many games? 120 games.
Yeah,
and lose in the first round of the playoffs
to the Padres.
Second round of the playoffs. But yeah, so Dodgers not. I was a fan of them, but used to go to the games. Now they priced me out of the games. Freaking $35.
Remember you had season tickets? That was like the life, baby.
I had like a mini plan. I went to like 25 games that year.
Living it big.
But now it's like $30 a ticket.
Yeah.
Not gonna pay $30 to go watch a Dodger game.
That's the sucky seats.
I know, that's not even the good ones.
That's all the way up there.
But
and if you want to tell me those seats are good, you a liar. And nah.
So yeah, I'm priced out of Dodger games. Thanks a lot, Magic.
Yep. Plus the vaccine thing happened where you had to show the COVID test and all that. That was whack. But yeah. What you got going on this week though?
Let's see. Short week at work. Tomorrow's my last day. Friday, we have like an administrative day. We're just gonna reorganize stuff. Team bonding, group dynamics stuff. Chill day. And that's all I got this week.
That's dope. This week what I got? Tomorrow, next 2 days are super long. I got be at church tomorrow, so right after work I gotta come home, change, head out to Bible study and rehearsal, and then hopefully get to hang out with my cousin Ray and my boy David. It's been a while since we vibed together, so hopefully we gotta do that. Friday, working late. Sunday I have youth hangs, Rock Church, LA. I don't know what we're gonna do yet. Probably watch Allstar weekend at somebody's house, Allstar game. But that's all I got going on for the rest of the week. So
we've got church, one service. Got a park social. President's Day, Monday. What are we doing Monday?
Oh yeah, Monday. Ooh, what are we doing Monday? I'm home, you home, Dina's home.
We blacked out, huh? Universal?
Yeah, unfortunately we are. Food day?
No, aquarium maybe. No, probably crowded. I'm doing something Monday.
Aquarium is whack. How you like it so much?
Baby likes it, but I like it.
Just buy her a fish tank. It's cheaper.
Nah, then they die. Then I gotta flush them. Poor Nemo.
But what are we gonna do Monday? I know my friends wanted to see if we can hang out, but I was thinking about. I think the parks closed, the gyms. I think for holidays like that, so I don't think we're gonna be able to get together. I hope. Yeah.
Let's see. You want to do questions that we had received? One question, or you want to do a top 5?
I know. There was one question that came in that I felt like was serious, and it was obviously I have no knowledge to answer this question. It's probably more directed towards you and your expertise. It was the way it was phrased was, "How can I get rich before I get married?"
If I want to get rich, the funny way would be pump up Dogecoin. Hope Dogecoin comes back up.
Dogecoin.
Buy Dogecoin. But weddings are so time. I got married during COVID.
Yeah.
He knows he had me plan and set up my wedding during COVID, which was challenging. Our venue got canceled, then restricted, but how many people you can have. And
I swear, I think you could make like a movie, a Hallmark movie off of how your wedding came about.
Yeah, got
With all the
married.
things I went through.
We bought it, and then just kidding, the world shut down for 2 weeks. It was supposed to be shut down for 2 weeks.
I remember that day.
Then 3 years
when
later,
I get a haircut was Ron the barber. Shout out to Ron.
Shout out Ron.
And he was ahead of the game. Boy, a hustler. He started selling face masks and everything with his little homestyle logo on there. And I remember I sent you a text like, "Hey, I'm gonna buy a mask. You want one?" You're like, "Nah, this is gonna be over in 2 weeks. There's no reason why I need it." Psych. 2.5 years later, kid.
That was before I woke up to take what is the red pill, the blue pill? What's the pill you gotta take? What's the one, the good one? I forgot. Never the pill. But yeah, planning a wedding during COVID was challenging.
Yeah.
But if you want to plan a wedding, my main things to focus on, definitely do premarital counseling. You and your wife find someone. Pastor, his rock church, Pastor Alex was our marriage counselor. Definitely go over expectations. The number one thing I would say is communication between you and your wife over expectations, because she might have an expectation of something and you might have an expectation of something, and they're not the same. And if they're not spoken out loud or verbalized, then you'll fail to meet her expectations, and no one wants to do that. No one wants to feel that they're not meeting their spouse's expectations, and then they'll harbor anger, resentment, frustration, even something small. But if it's not showed or spoken, then it's just the groundwork, the framework for an unsuccessful the day that you should want to enjoy to the fullest. So definitely talk to your wife, see what her expectations are for the wedding day, what she wants to see, and then break down the way you can make it happen. You can do like budget A, the highest, buy everything that she wants, that you want to have there, see how much that costs.
Get yourself some good people around you to do some DIY.
But yeah, first you do the highest level of, like, you don't have to do anything. You just buy everything. Yeah. Everything's catered, top of the line. Then you do level B, which is like you cut cost. You look for shortcuts, people that you know. And then C, you just do bare bones. What's the lowest amount she'll want to accept and still agree to marry you? That's the amount. And go a little bit above that, and that's where you want to live. I know there's a lot of
there's a gray area in there, and you gotta find it.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of like, oh, weddings are a waste. They're using too much money for a one-day event. Each to their own. I mean, we self-funded our wedding. We're not white, so the benefit of marrying a white girl, so I've heard, is they pay for the wedding. or like that, whoever pays for the wedding, usually the wife pays for the wedding.
The wife's family.
And their upbringing, their custom, they pay for the wedding. We didn't have that luxury, so me and my wife, we made a budget. I started working overtime. So practical steps you can take is work on your budget. Follow proper one is Dave Ramsey. I kind of have Dave Ramsey values, but also shift it to myself and what I think works best. Definitely budget. See where you can cut your expenses and start saving the most you can for your wedding, so you can pay for your wedding up front. I definitely don't recommend like getting a credit card to pay for your wedding. It's the worst to be stressed about having to pay something after it's happened, like they say. You're paying for fun that you already had, and it's a downer. But things I would recommend not cutting cost on would be like a wedding photographer.
Oh, yeah.
Our wedding photographer is really good. Janelli.
Shout out Janelli. I got photography.
I recommend having a good photographer. Something we didn't get that I would want to add, maybe next time we renew our vows, would be a videographer. Definitely want to be able to look back and have a video of your wedding. And then the rest is kind of up to you. Our cake, I was like whatever about cake. I don't like cake, so we had a bunch of different bun cakes. Food we had catered to what we liked. Ultimately, it's going to come down to what your wife wants. Everyone always says it's for both of you, but it's really for your wife. I mean, she's the one that's dreamed and wanting to have that wedding however she wants to have it. Definitely check in with her often, periodically, checking in with what she wants and what you can do to make her vision come true, while also setting standards and limits for yourself. If there's something that you don't want to go over, if you have a certain cost in mind that you don't want to exceed, share that with her so you can both work to stay underneath that limit threshold. But work, there's no other way to do it unless you want to play the lottery, gamble.
Nothing left to do but to do it.
Yeah, gamble, win the lottery, bet, sell stuff, or just you have to work more. It's essentially how it's going to work. After you get married, if you want interested, more than happy to help you budget, go over investment ideas, tips, set up with retirement options. Everyone watching this, start a retirement account. If you invest $500 a month at the age of 20, you'll be a millionaire by the time you're 65 and don't have to do anything else. So I tell everyone to start investing early, focus on your retirement. Debt free would be preferably best, but as long as you start investing, you'll still have room in your budget to do it.
Yeah, and the reason why I say, get yourself like a good team of people is because one thing I remember from your wedding was, when everything started hitting the fan, you had people that you had what, like 10 people there, 15 people with you that day that were either hanging stuff up, putting out tables, chairs, making sure everything was ready the night before. I remember, I think me, you, and my mom and my dad didn't leave till like 2 or 3 in the morning the night before. And I feel like, not to squeeze my own horn, but you need people like that are going to be there for you, that you can trust, that you can rely on, that are going to have your back, knowing whatever may go happen or go wrong, that they're going to be there for you and you can rely on them, and you can give them a task and not stress about it or worry about it. Oh, he's going to take care of it, and I can trust him to take care of it, things like that. And I feel like that trust, I'm going to lean into it. The backstory of how me and you got really close. One thing people always say or have said, like you mentioned earlier, was me and you are a lot closer than, I guess, what the standard is for what siblings are. And I thought I've always found that comment when it's made to us has always been shocking, because I've just always thought, you should always be super close with your siblings, your brother, your sister, whatever it may be. But it was always something like, how are you and your brother so close? Or how are you guys like best friends? Like, you guys seem like you never fight, you never argue, you're the same and all that. And, for us, it wasn't always that way, like we said, definitely early on. We had our fair shares of...
we headbutted, fought, cried, scratched.
Yeah. But like you said, around college, that was a change or wherever it was. And... yeah, which also leads us into our next topic.
Yeah, I think definitely the being close to each other. I think that was also role modeled kind of from both sides of our family. I think it looks different. I guess closeness and like togetherness looks different for each family, and not to judge based off of you can talk to someone every day and be close to them, or you cannot talk to someone every day and still feel comfortable to reach out to them. I think a big influence for us was my dad's family. I think more so than my mom's family for the most part. They both get along very well, but just in terms, actually, recently my mom, I feel like my mom's also talked more to her sisters, probably Annabelle and Rebecca the most.
Yeah.
where they call like every day to check in. They share stuff. But definitely my dad's side, my Aunt Rachel and my dad, I think, have the closest relationship that I've seen to like us.
Yeah.
Where they can call each other names, they can go over to each other's houses all the time. They go out to like the swamp meets and stuff. Since we were little, they were always. I always see them that way. They were always close to each other. My dad and my Aunt Rachel. And I think that's kind of how our relationship is. Like we can do everything together. We can do everything.
Yeah.
Wherever we go, we can go together and not have any issues or complaints. And then my mom's side, they're not as close. I think that also has to do with like a church upbringing. Just dynamics always shift with how you're raised. My mom has a complicated story she might share one day here.
Yeah.
But for us, I think definitely the ability to share everyday experiences in church. Like we would sleep in the car together from like, was it 8 till church till like the church was over at 3?
Yeah.
So we would be at church from 8 to 3 in the afternoon. We'd be in the
Service was
car.
until 11.
So we would have to be able to talk to each other.
Yeah.
So it definitely stems from there. And what was the topic we were going to do?
We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna do our Mount Rushmores. So we'll be closing every episode with our Mount Rushmores. Maybe different topics, something as simple as food, favorite teams, favorite players, yada yada. But today, I felt like a cool one would be for people, I guess, to get an understanding of how we developed our mindset and our characteristics and our traits is our Mount Rushmore of most influential people in our lives, whether it's famous or personal, but just 4. So
4 of them?
Yeah, so we're only doing 1.
What?
We're combining it. I know originally we had split up 2, but we're going to combine it to where it's only 4 people of our most influential people in our lives. Whether they're famous, because we're both going to have this one that's the same, and it's going to be Kobe.
Nah, Kobe's not right now. Oh, he's dead. I'm trying to see.
But yeah. You got anything, or you want me to go first?
You can go first.
Yeah, so like I mentioned, for me, Kobe, Mamba mentality. That's the, he's probably the most famous person that I've looked up to. I've always held his hard work and his dedication. Early on, you just see it, you're like, oh, Kobe's the best. I want to play like Kobe. But then as you get older, and then as you understand more of more he shared about his work ethic and what he took and the sacrifice he made to become the best and what it entailed of the amount of sacrifice he had to do, whether it was not being at home with his family as much and understanding in order to be great at this has to be first and everything else has to be understanding and knowing that it'll come after, but it's still there. And so I think for me, like understanding that mindset of whatever it is you do want, you have to put your priorities in line to accomplish what it is you set, and you can't let things that happen around you like stop you from accomplishing that. So Kobe's mindset in that sense, the mom mentality, pushing through things. No, you always say it like in basketball, the easiest thing, like when you're hurt, oh, mom mentality, baby, mind over matter, don't hurt. Things like that. Second one, my Pastor Alex, shout out to him. Before I moved to Rock Church, I was meeting with him every week for mentorship. I felt like I really needed it at the time. I had a lot of questions about myself and where I was at ministry wise and how I was feeling internally. I'm trying to get a better understanding of what it was that God had for me, or my limits for God, or not for God, but my limiting myself in my ministry and trying to understand the best way to go about unlocking that self-belief. And sometimes you just need that extra person there to push you past push you past your own limitations that you place on yourself, and making you understand that you have it in you. It's that fear that's preventing you from failing, like it's keeping you there. So definitely Pastor Alex been one of the most impactful people and most influential people for me so far in my life. Travis Kelce, shout out to him. He's one of my recent ones, but he's definitely made an impact on me on how I carry myself and how how I go about life, how I try to. He always says things are like, he has these funny catchphrases that they just rub off on me, and so like I try to not imitate, but I see things he does, and it's just like that's I see myself in him a lot, and I'm like, man, that's totally me. I can totally be that way in public and all that stuff. So then I try to open myself up more to let loose, and people who know I'm a big loud goofball. I just want to make everybody laugh. But yeah, and then my last one, like I said, you're probably the most influential person that has been in my life. I've always looked up to you, one way or another, whether it was in school, your dedication to when you have goals. Like we said, there hasn't been a goal that you haven't set for yourself that you haven't met, whether it was graduating school early, getting certain jobs, paying off your cars.
Semi-marathon.
So that one, we'll let that one slide for now because it was a unforeseen injury take place. But like for most of your life, whenever you've set a goal for yourself, you've always had the discipline and the hard work ethic that you needed to accomplish it. And that's always something that I always admired. And I know I'm like, man, I always accumulate to like, he's just way smarter than me. But what in reality it is you're just way more dedicated, hardworking, and disciplined. And yeah, and you're my older brother. We're best friends, and so yeah, you're probably the most personal, influential person in my life that I've always looked up to, and that's probably why a lot of people say we are the same, because I take whatever characteristic traits that I do see in you that I like, that's cool or that's dope, or I know I need that in my life, and then I just mix it up with my electricity and charisma. Put thunder in a bottle, baby. But yeah, that's my Rushmore. Travis Kelce, Kobe, Pastor Alex, and you.
Trying to think of mine. We're not doing family, right? Or outside of family?
Not like mom, dad. I put you because it's a different type of dynamic relationship. But yeah, shout out to mom and dad. You are influential in my life.
Yeah, mom, dad,
so that's
grandparents.
An obvious one.
Obviously.
Those are obvious ones. So
let's see. I'm trying to think of people that I can pinpoint.
You're like, I'm self-made, baby.
No, I mean, they've impacted me. That definitely changed the way I done stuff. Nah. I mean, underlying philosophies, yeah. I guess like mindset. I guess that's not really people that I know. Like Kobe, everyone has their opinion of Kobe, the man, and whatever happened to him, and whatever he did or did not do. But I guess like the attributes that like you talked about, his character on the court, as he would describe himself, the Black Mamba that he created, the persona that he developed. Yeah. I think that happened to me, to both of us. Like I developed the persona of we didn't need anybody, or whatever. We didn't need people around us growing up in church.
For sure.
For whatever the reason. Well, I was a very quiet kid. I definitely say I did not come into my own until college. Very quiet, reserved, say like self-conscious. I was always on the bigger side, so definitely didn't limit my ability to try stuff, but I just knew what I was. Like there was no denying it. But I think my self-confidence definitely went up in college, and my ability to articulate my thoughts and share my thoughts and feel comfortable and welcomed. But I guess in terms of identity development is what I'll do. Because people, I don't really have close relationships outside of you, Frank Martinez, who we text pretty much every day, and Abel, our good friend Abel. I guess Abel would be one, I guess. Frank came in after recently, but I guess Abel would be one of the people that has definitely impacted my life in the most recent term. But it's more like general ability to see things, I guess. It's more mindset things that have probably people who have influenced me. Like you said, Dave Ramsey would be more like David Bernard. Definitely David Bernard recently also, as I've been studying more and learning more. Just faith and faith formation and understanding what I believe, how I believe it, why I believe it. I don't know people. I don't know much more. I had a hard time.
I'm like, your wife.
She's my wife. Doesn't count.
Doesn't count. Just kidding.
I'm trying to think of. Trying to think of who I would label.
Well, I guess for you, it probably is my grandpa, my tito.
Well, maybe my grandparents. Definitely more my like I said, my Tito Manuel the first. Is he the first? Yeah, right. My dad's a junior.
Yeah.
Manuel the first. Like tenets of my character would be family, God. Like the family would come from my dad's side.
Yeah.
God will come. The tether comes from my grandpa on my mom's side, and then like financial ideas and mindset comes from. He would say Dave Ramsey, but also I've just kind of been self-taught now. So like financial understanding,
Yeah.
and then like my fourth tenet would be like caring for people, and that's probably also my mom, the ability to care. So like my character would, I would say, family, God, and caring for people. That would be like my what I would attribute myself to be like the three characteristics that I would say, and that's probably much it. So like mine don't have to be family. I don't identify with many with celebrities like David Goggins at one point like mindset.
Yeah.
It's more like mindsets that I adopt and adapt to my life.
Yeah.
So I got super into running, and I would run with Abel. So when I talked to Abel, he talked to me about like he got married to his wife, he converted his wife, they have two babies,
Table.
they have twins. So like balancing fitness, like taking care of your body, and having a wife, and just being funny. He's a funny, loose, relaxed dude.
Yeah.
So that I would give him like balancing family and fitness, the importance of that.
Yeah.
But also got that from like David Goggins. Faith I got from my grandpa on my mom's side, and the importance of faith. And then my family dynamics was from my grandfather Artito. The importance of you're always going to have your family's back, no matter what they do to you or you do to them.
Yeah.
You always have to come back to them. But I guess random people have influenced my life. Like my third grade, fourth grade teacher put me in like the different program, Miss Gardiner.
Yeah.
That sent off. We never went to school together because of her.
I know, how rude.
Because we should have been in, I think, overlapped in middle school and high school like 1 year.
Middle school and high school at least, yeah.
We would have overlapped if I would have gone to the same schools as you guys, but because of her, I didn't. So I met, which I think was some influence why I didn't make friends. I always had a new group of school, a new friendship every time I had to go to a different school. I went to a different school every 3 years. And I had to take the bus, so I didn't make friends. But, so she changed, like, because of the school I went to, I met a friend that sent me to Azusa Pacific. And then at Azusa Pacific, I met another friend who, like, got me into my cultural identity and made me friends. I'm Hispanic, but like growing up, I never considered myself Hispanic or Mexican or whatever. I was American. But at college, that's when
we're your prototypical coconuts. Brown on the outside, white on the inside.
So I didn't have any like cultural identity, you would say.
I still don't. God bless America.
So like my only friend I have that I talk to from like really good friend I talk to from college is Renee.
Yeah.
I met him because of school. And I started talking to Chang that I met, my roommate Jake. I made friends at school. And like you can tie it all back to that one teacher who sent me to a different school eventually. But top four would be it's all family. I don't really have friends for better or for worse. Till now I would say Abel's technically not family, but he's kind of family. So he's one of them, I suppose, and Frank would be another one. I've definitely asked like ministry questions and relationship questions and marriage questions I've asked of him, and family, like kid questions.
Shout out to the rest of the trail chasers.
Trail chasers. Now we're not trail chasers. Now we're just, I don't even know what we are now.
Staying away from getting too big, chasers.
Yeah, I don't know what we are now. He moved.
Yeah.
Bub, Frank, Abel. I'd say Ray too. My cousin Ray.
Yeah. Shout out to Ray.
He definitely. I mean, we have. I'm close to a lot of cousins, but he's definitely the closest cousin. I told him last time he was like our brother.
Yeah.
Our fourth brother, because he lived with us for a time. He always invites us out. We invite him out. We try to hang out, do things together. So I'd say he's kind of like our fourth brother. I mean, growing up, he was always with us. We went to the same churches, and definitely, he has also shown his dedication to ministry, to music.
Yeah.
A persevering of them. I would say Ray's actually a good one. Ray's a really good person that I've seen. I don't know if I've ever shared with him, but I've definitely shared with you guys that I'm incredibly proud of, like the person, the dad that he's become. because of his upbringing. Or maybe we have on if he wants to share, but like the dad he is to his two sons and setting the example for them.
Yeah.
I know people had different views of who he could be, and then he still serves God, plays music. And I've definitely seen his dedication to his craft. He's played music.
He's grown a lot.
He's played music. Every time we would go to his house, he would be playing the piano or the keyboard or listening to something. He would listen to a clip and be able to play it.
Talk about God-given gift.
We'd always be able to play any song, and he'd be able to play it in the piano within the next 3 minutes.
It was like trivia. We'd be like, "Hey, can you play this song?" He'd be like, "Let me hear it." All right.
So definitely,
and he gets it.
Definitely, Ray would be probably up there as people that like. I consider him my friend, and he's obviously my family, but my friend.
Yeah.
And let me think. Once you start thinking, like people start popping into your head.
The more you talk, I'm like, oh, I forgot about this person. I forgot about that.
I'm trying to think of like people in my head that fly by, and then they pop up.
Honorable mentions.
I'm trying to think of people like that have influenced me.
Yeah.
And then that come in.
Yeah.
I think that's it I can think of. So I don't really have a hard list. We were like my grandparents.
Yeah.
My grandpa, my friend Zabel. I don't have 4 people, fortunately. I failed this one. Sorry, everybody.
It's all right. Yeah, so that's dope, though. I mean, I guess that's also how we're different. I feel like I probably gravitate more to personal relationships and I hang on to, and I hold them in like, I think I grow attached to people a lot more than you do, and that's where we're different. Like, and I don't want to say you don't value relationships, but you're more selective in the relationships that you, like for me, I can say I have like a ton of people that I would consider like really close friends, and for you, you probably have like just 2 or 3.
Yeah, we better get like people.
Yeah.
One, I don't get to know people, and they don't get to know me.
You get hurt a lot less. I'll tell you that much. Like people let you down a lot less. You expect
Pretty bad. Like I don't have nobody to reach out to. Like I said, I only reach out to you if I need something. I'll ask you, or I'll or something.
Yeah.
The people I ask for help that have ever helped me have been Abel, Frank, you, Ray.
Yeah.
If I ever needed something, I've asked.
Yeah, like now me.
You 4 guys. So I guess it'd be you 4 guys. That's how I can answer the question. The 4 people that I would ask for help would be you 4. If I ever needed something, I know I can count on.
Yeah.
My brother, also Isaac. If I needed something, I know I could call him. He'll do it.
Yeah.
But I guess that's how I define my Rushmore is people that I know I could count on would be you guys.
Yeah.
Shout out George too.
I know. I was like, as you're talking, I'm like, yeah, he's funny is he's the only person I call Theo. He's not even technically my uncle, but I love him like my uncle. He's always been there for me in hard times. He's always someone I can trust to talk to. I can rely on for anything.
That's also someone who I haven't really spoke to him about it, but just the way that I see him serve in church without having an official title and wanting to serve and give more. It's definitely something that I've admired and adopted personally to try to give more, even without a title. That I don't aspire to have a title.
Yeah.
But definitely, I've seen from him and gleaned from him. Is another one.
Yeah. But yeah. Well, guys, hope you enjoyed episode 1 of Off Limits Podcast. We will check in with you guys when we see you. Until then, hand signs, we're out.
Get the gas, get the gas, get the gas. Until it's 17, plus until it's 17, plus get the gas, get the gas, get the gas. Until a big man, plus